Welcome to African Legends and Lore. Dive into the rich tapestry of Africa's storytelling tradition with us. Our channel brings you enchanting tales, fables, and myths from across the continent, celebrating the diverse cultures and histories that shape Africa's vibrant heritage. From the ancient wisdom of griots to contemporary retellings, we explore stories that have been passed down through generations. A long time ago, before time had a name, a man dwelt with his newly married wife on the edge of the forest. The man was a member of the Smith Guild, Aturi, a group in Gikuyu society whose profession was extracting iron from the earth, smelting it, and fashioning it into such implements as spears, swords, knives, bracelets, and such. This was a highly protected craft, and one had to be inducted through a long and expensive apprenticeship, as well as complicated esoteric rituals. The smiths usually conducted their work in a consecrated place, warehouse, far away from their homes. This place was given a wide berth by ordinary mortals, and no one could approach it without requisite purifications. It was out of bounds to women and uninitiated men. Our newly married smith left his young wife alone and pregnant at home and went to join his fellow smiths a long way from home. In due time, his wife was delivered of a baby. The manner of Gikuyu maternity services then was for a professional midwife to be called, and together with some chosen assistants, she would perform the delivery inside the woman's hut. Once a woman was delivered of a baby, she was nursed for several weeks so that she could get her strength back. It was not uncommon for the happy father to slaughter a goat for the woman. The soup was believed to be very ideal for quickly reviving the woman. This was called warming up. This particular poor woman was delivered and nursed by an ogre. Every time the ogre came back from collecting firewood from the forest, it would let the firewood drop from its back and say, "Newly delivered, may you fall with that sound." After heating some leftovers, the ogre would pass some to the woman saying, "Newly delivered, have some." But before she could reach it, the ogre would snap it back saying, "Ah, you have refused? Let me eat it for you." This went on until the woman became so frail that she was about to die. A dove used to perch on a tree just outside the woman's hut and could observe all this. This dove used to be fed with choice castor oil seeds by the woman before she became bedridden. The dove, after deciding enough was enough, flew off all the way to the distant smithy where the man was working. It perched on a tree near the smithy and began to sing, "Smith, that smith, too comfy. Oh no, smith faster, too comfy. Oh no, your wife has been delivered, too comfy. Oh no, delivered by an ogre, too comfy. Oh no, been told take these leftovers, too comfy. Oh no, you have refused I eat, too comfy. Oh no." The smiths all looked at one another and inquired who among them had left a pregnant wife home alone. The culprit owned up and left the others at once to go check out the dove's message. When the smith arrived at home, the homestead was in a pathetic state. The gate was unsecured, the hedge broken, the granary was empty and nearly eaten through by termites, and the hut's grass roof had such holes that you could see the sky from inside. The woman narrated her ordeal. The man then climbed up and hid in the firewood rack above the fireplace and waited. By and by, the ogre arrived with a load of firewood, and as he dropped it, said as usual, "Newly delivered, may you fall with that sound." The woman replied, "May you fall with that sound too." The ogre was surprised by the woman's brave retort, and it asked, "Newly delivered, how you answer with bravado, or have those who left for the smithy come back?" The woman replied, "They will come back one day." The ogre then warmed some food, and as usual passed some to the woman, saying, "Newly delivered, have some leftovers, but since you have refused, let me eat them." The man was so furious at this, and aimed his spear straight at the open mouth of the ogre, who died instantly. The man came down and embraced his wife and child, and they stood thus in the center of the hut. You can still see them to this day, there at the center with the fire burning in between them. The all-seeing, all-knowing dove is still perched on a castor tree nearby. Commentary. Oftentimes, our expectation of good is like the woman's pregnancy. An idea is nurtured and developed before it comes to fruition. Sometimes the farmer plants seeds in the garden and forgets or neglects to take care of them. Sometimes the excuse is that he is in a far country in search of riches. Sometimes the distance is a matter of consciousness and not a matter of miles. Sometimes we let our better half and better judgment be taken over by evil until we come home. Until a messenger from higher than the eye comes to remind us that we ought to come back home. We are all smiths, fashioning our lives from the ore and refining and fashioning ourselves into beautiful beings. In the Hebrew Bible, in a similar story, it is narrated that this particular smith was also in a far country, and when he came to himself, it is then that he came home. Luke 15:11-32. When we come home, we rescue our lives from the vultures, hyenas, and ogres who sit at our hearth. We kill the Buddha, the pastor, the doctor, the priest, the politician, the trainer, and we take charge of our lives. We kill the so-called social media and come home. We kill the TV and listen to the cooing of the dove. We listen to that inner voice. We perform a major house cleaning and throw out all these hangers-on, eating our lives away and eating even the leftovers. We reconcile the masculine ego with the creative feminine. The results are wholeness and health. Let him or her come home, for no two stones can support a pot, so says the dove. The triunity of father, mother, and child shall then meet at the center, the hearth, the origin. The three will be one, and the one will be resting on the three stones nourishing the all.